Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome to you too. It's nice to see you, Malachi.
Nice to see you too.
What would you like?
Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
I can. So I am Abi. I am Malachi's cousin. I live in Lincolnshire. I am a Slim and Well consultant. I'm a team developer. And I live with Richard, who you've also seen, who has been interviewed.
Yes, and you will see that, guys, on tomorrow. Sounds great. So what do you think the hardest thing has been about this, obviously, with your job and all that?
So when the lockdown first hit, we was still in groups. In the second week of March was our last group, and that Monday night was when the first announcement was being made, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So it was quite scary because we are self-employed, so we didn't really know what was going to happen and if we were still going to be able to have a job. It's been quite fast-paced, and I know, Malachi, you're pretty good on technology, but I turned 30 this year and I'm not very technical. I'm not very good on it, and that was quite scary, is that we've done a transition over to virtual groups, which have been really, really good, but that was quite scary because we didn't know how the uptake would go and how it would all work, really, with technical problems along the way. So that was quite scary, really, with the start of the pandemic happening.
And what do you think the hardest thing has been about lockdown?
So for me, I think it's kind of, I'm sure most people will say it, being on your own, trapped inside, when you probably took for granted so many things, like being able to go for a walk, even down the street, going out. One of the things that I really struggled with is because with Danny, my sister, and having a niece and a nephew, what I've really struggled with is I looked after Phoebe for quite some time when she was newly born, and during the first 6 months of Travis being born, I've not been able to see him. So I found that really hard because they're the people that I'm closest to and don't get to go and see at the moment. So that's really tricky.
What do you think of Boris Johnson's rules?
For me personally, I do like Boris Johnson, and I don't really have much to say on it because I suffer sometimes with anxiety and worry, so I don't always watch the news, so his rules and stuff I do sometimes go over my head, but I do think some of them are quite quick, fast-paced, like he's rushing some things, and I think some things should have been a bit stricter, like in countries like New Zealand, where they went into like a total lockdown. With none of this, you can do it, you can't do it. I think they're a bit flexible, but I don't think he's a bad guy. I think whoever was the Prime Minister would be under this kind of scrutiny as well.
And I don't know if you've heard about it, but what do you think about the whole Dominic Cummings situation?
So I have heard about it. For me, I know we've had some discussions in our household about it. Wrong and right. I think there is some bits where I think if I had a child and my other half was sick and I didn't know what to do, I probably would drive across the country. However, also some of his things are I'm unsure that driving to test his eyesight 30 miles was something. So if Malachi, it would be like you getting behind the wheel saying, I'm just going to go test my eyesight.
Oh yeah, Jordan did see my eyes would suddenly work if I just drove down to the
Exactly, that's it. They're the kind of bits that I'm a bit like, oh, I don't understand, but
no.
Yeah, so that's kind of my views on it.
And if you had any advice to people about this whole COVID, like staying home or they'd got work, whatever, what would be your advice?
Could you take the question again, just so I can think about my answer?
Okay, so what would be your advice to anybody with COVID? Like, not with COVID, but like staying home and all that.
Yeah, I've got you now. Yeah, so I think for me, it's talking to people. I think personally with the Slimming World group, it's kept me sane. It's allowed me to still have like community, whether or not it's with my members. And same sort of thing with like family. So we've done like quizzes via video calls like this, or on like Zoom and things like that. So I think it's just speaking to people so you don't go crazy. I nearly swore then. But yeah, just so you don't go crazy, really, Malachi. I think it's the key is just communicating with people, because I think Richard went back to work on Monday and I found it harder just being me in the house. It's quite weird to just be sat thinking with your own thoughts all day. So my top tip really would be to talk to your friends and family, whether or not it's via a phone call, a video call, a text message. Keep in contact with people.
Completely. Well, thank you, Abby, for joining me.
That's all right. And thank you for having me.
No problem. You guys are watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and thank you for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, as I said. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to comment. And if you want to interview, don't forget to message me on one of my social medias, which will be linked in the description, or send me an email on my website, www.malachityler.co.uk. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Malachi. Thanks for having me.